And so your grandfather, I guess when I take it, 1924, invented the snowmobile.
He started construction on this machine right here that you see. And basically just the next building over is where he started building it. And it took him like 2 years in between customers and stuff. And you can see all the parts that he used were commonly found in a general store type store that he operated.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your bicycle sprockets, and you've got, if you can kind of see in here too, you can see he used 2 pair of skis, snow skis.
Oh yeah.
In fact, the tips, you can see the tips right here. He just stuck them together. He had the idea, because he was in heavy equipment too, you know, bulldozers and
Yeah.
machines of the day, they used continuous track drive like that. So he needed something to power it, so he used an outboard motor. Cut down the shaft on it and adapted it to drive the bicycle parts, the sprockets. Then he needed to cool it too, so he had to come up with a radiator, so he used a portion of a Model T radiator to cool it. So between 1924 and 1926, he fiddled with it and got it running, and then friends of his and trappers and, you know, people up here in the wintertime, they didn't have anything to do anyway, so they had to either fish or hunt or something, you know. So he started getting orders, you know, from his neighbors. And then he built somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40 machines.
What?
From the late 20s to the late 30s. And then he got an order for 200 of them from Finland. And that's when he had to contact some manufacturing facility to try to build them, or to set up a partnership or whatever you'd call it, you know, to build them. And that's when Clintonville took over. They started building them. That's really about it. That's how it started.
And this was the first snowmobile, and it was patented, and then...
It was actually patented in 1927, and that's the earliest patent of a personal continuous track drive machine, see. So it is the earliest patent. You know, Bombardier always said that they invented the snowmobile, but they didn't have a patent until in the 30s on it. He was working on like air-powered machines back about the same time. And there were air machines around. I mean, there were air machines around before he built this one. You know,
What is an air machine? What's the
they use airplane propeller, you know, on a sled, you know, and it just
Similar
like
to
an
the
airboat.
things in the airboats in the
Only with
swampland.
skis
Oh, okay.
on it. Air sleds. I don't even know if I have pictures. I don't think I have any pictures of air sleds here, but they were around. I don't know. I guess that's basically the story of how it started. The patents, there's reproductions of them up there. So it's a long story. I mean, it's from 1924 all the way to 1963. That's
Yeah, and I was reading about the first snow derby, or the it's just republished in your newspaper.
yeah, that was the first derby. One of his machines actually won the open class or unlimited class, and that was in 1963 or 64. And that machine already was old. It was probably 20 years old at that time. You know, but they used big engines. They used the Indian motorcycle engine, Scout engine, which was like 25 horsepower, 45 cubic inch.
Oh yeah, I saw you had a book there. It was Indian. Is that
That's
is
what
that
the
a
book is
Wisconsin
Mm-mm.
thing? No.
No, Harley is. Some of their stuff is built in Wisconsin, but Harley, the engines were a little too heavy, so they went with the Indian. They were lighter weight, and they put out a little more horsepower per pound, and that's why they used the Indian. So, and they were hard to drive. I mean, you drove them like a motorcycle. You know, you had to clutch them and
Yeah.
shift them.
It looks like a
This-
very difficult thing, and this
Yeah.
especially looks like a flexible flyer with a rope. But
This here, it didn't have any transmission or anything. I mean, you raised the track up with these bars right in here.
Mm-hmm.
You could lift the track up so that it would break contact with the ground. Then you started the engine, got it up to speed, and the track would be going. And when you wanted to go, you just push down.
Drop the track.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it went. Sure. So this goes back to the Valles County Museum in the summer when they're open.
Okay. Yeah, we drove by there and I was hoping that it would be in it.
It's not open in the winter. They
Yeah,
can't.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Well-
not a lot of people up here, but we're just
No.
coming through for the last bit of winter, really,
Mhm.
which is great. You know,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful now, but there's no activity. You know, it's kind of a tough winter for anybody depending on snowmobile traffic.
Yeah, I heard that there was not enough snow
Mhm.
for a lot of snowmobiles. And
No, it was pretty bad. Next year will be better.